And I know what you guys are gonna say. Well, just pull my gun out and shoot him. Yes, you're right. But we don't. Damn. Hey YouTube, my name is Nathaniel Okansi. I'm with Colorado Krav Maga. I'm here with Eric, who's gonna be helping me today. I've been doing Krav Maga for 9 years now, studying violence for those 9 years. And today we're gonna talk about knife attacks and what's effective and what's not, and why we know what we're working on is effective. So have some fun. Let's talk about stabs. There are certain stabs that you're gonna see in common, and there's stuff that you'll see on television. We gotta make sure we understand the difference. Television's really fancy, or movies, I should say, are really fancy, and in real life, they're not. They're very barbaric, very primal. So the stabs you're gonna see are usually an overhead stab, an underhand stab, and then of course a slash. That's really it. Underhand, overhand, and slash. So let's talk about 360 defense. So 360 defense is for these haymaker punches or these haymaker swings, where the person who's swinging is going from the outside and coming back in. It's not a straight linear punch. Eric, if I can say, the punch. As it's going out and around, I have to make a 360 defense to stop this. Look, if I'm super late, I can cover, boom. But the best thing to do is to stop it by driving my weight forward. We have 360 for these haymaker punches, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it covers all of them. So really quick, let's talk about these counterattacks. So we have to understand why we have them. We need to give ourselves a chance to turn the curve. So when somebody attacks us, we are not ready for this attack. If you were, there's a problem. We got to talk about situational awareness. But this counterattack allows us to turn the curve, okay? Or to get this fight back into our hands. The best way to explain is I have to reset the person's computer. I need to stop them. I need to make them think about something else. I need to freeze them. And the best way to do that is to punch them right in the face. Counterattack is to stop the next attack or to reset him, right? So he throws that punch, bang, I hit him. Look, he already stopped. Switch again. He swings, bang, and it stops him. Really quick, this question always comes up, and it's like, when do I take the knife away? When do I take the knife away? Nate, when do I take the knife away? And the answer is when you're safe and it's ready, but we have to understand the situation, okay? So if I have Eric in this position, look, the truth is if it's just me and him and I'm winning this fight, I'm not gonna take the knife away until I know he has no more fight in him. So I might be kicking and fighting, and this could be 30 minutes, a minute, 20 minutes. If I still feel a fight in him, I'm not taking this knife away. Until he's maybe on his knee, or I feel him trying to wince away, then I can start working on taking this knife away. The only time I would go earlier is if there's a third party into this situation. In other words, I'm fighting this guy, bang, and I look over and he has his friend running in going, I got you, I have a problem. Now look, I can still fight Eric and put him in between the bad guy. Like if you guys, camera people, are the bad guy, I put him in between and I can now start fighting. I'm still fighting now, have to fight two people. I'm fighting him and I'm trying to put him in the way. Or if I notice you coming, bang, I can now start working my knife takeaway, bomb, bomb, and then now address you. So the only time you should take the knife away is when there's no fighting the bad guy, or if you have an outside element coming in that's gonna change this fight big time for you. With this overhead stab, there's a couple things we have to understand. It's a primal thing, and something has to be, I won't say has to be wrong, but there's something very personal and not right about this overhead stab, right? When he's stabbing, you can, please don't just drive it into me, but when he's doing this overhead stab, it's not one stab and that's it. It's gonna be a couple of stabs. It's gonna be over and over again like it's a sewing machine. So what we want to do is we want to address the problem. We've got to recognize what the stab is. So we have to identify the problem, but then we also have to address the problem. So as he's stabbing me, I want to stop this stab. I have to stop this initial stab. There's always a 90-degree bend in my arm to the attack. My hand, as best as I can, or my wrist is going to be close to his wrist when I do this. Now, what's very important is that my weight's going to go forward and not backwards. If my weight's backwards, like I'm going away from this knife, there's a very good chance that I'm going to get stabbed. When my weight goes forward, I stop the knife sooner, and I put my body weight behind this. Now listen, when we're talking about this knife stab, very common. Slowly, as this knife is coming, our hands will come up and then we'll move our weight away, which is common. I get that. If you have no training, that makes sense. That's just within our body. Now with Krav Maga, what we want to do is we want to take the things that are going to be good. Our hands moving towards the problem. What we want to take away is the things that are not good. My body weight going away from this. So now we're going to train ourselves to get our body weight going forward. That stab comes, I'm going forward. My weight has to drive forward. I would rather be in the chest and get stabbed in the back than get stabbed in the face and the neck. So my weight's going to drive forward. My hand is going to stop this attack now. So I've identified the problem. I have now defended the problem, but now we have another problem. He's probably going to pull his hand back and send another knife stab. So I have to address the second stab. I do that by throwing a punch. Bang! I hit him right in the face. I disrupt the computer. I give myself a second to either wrap the knife hand or to get away, depending on what happens with the punch. If I defend and punch, bang, and he falls backwards, then I'm looking to get away. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully that happens. But I can't guarantee. But my hands are gonna move at the same time. Simultaneous counterattack and the punch. Bang, right there. Aiming for that chin. Weight is going forward. And then from there I can make a decision. Turn sides. Once I defend, bang, there's a couple things. In Krav Maga, I can move my hand back, control, come back, take the knife away. But listen, the truth is that that hand goes back, it may flail, it's gonna be hard to control that hand. So it's easier if I defend and then wrap at his shoulders. If I try to wrap at his wrist and his forearm, that hand goes back. And when it goes back, it's gonna be hard to control. If I try to wrap at his forearm, the same idea. But if I try to wrap at his shoulders don't move, and I just have to burst in. Now from here, I'm gonna put this hand in a headlock. Nice and tight. Now I know what you're saying. What if right now he could stab me? He probably could, but this is not in a slow motion. This is in a fast motion. So in regular speed, I'm here, bang, and I'm sliding in. And then from there, guys, I'm in this great position to control him. Turn again this way. My forearm is across his neck and we have this knee position. I'm gonna slide him away from the knife. Right now where Eric is at, he can take his arm and just switch knife hands. And we have a problem, and now I'm getting stabbed. So as soon as I hit him and I get to this position, I drive him away. Now if he tries to get this knife, I'm in between him. Turn this again, I'm in between him now. But guys, I'm not gonna turn this into a wrestling match. What we've realized in Krav Maga is I need to hit him. I need to hit him a lot. If I want to beat the fight out of him, I need to hit him. So I have groin kicks, I have knees, I have short elbows. And I'm gonna do this until there's no fight in him. Once I know that there's no fight in him, I can take this knife away. Sliding down to his wrist. I pull the knife up in front. My other hand is gonna cap the top of his hand. Now I'm gonna drive his fingers open by driving his knuckles and his fingers down, in, and I replace the knife with my hand and it's mine. And now I can fight and get away. I have the knife. I don't need to fight him now. Unless he wants to come and fight me, I can get away. So it shouldn't be I take the knife and then I start stabbing him and going at him. I need to get away. The knife is mine. If he's running for it, fantastic, I'm going the other way. If he's coming at me, then I will start fighting. I want you to understand that. One last thing. We cannot think that this is gonna be in a perfect world. In other words, I do this and that perfectly happens. There may be a failure. I don't know where. It might be I defend and I miss this punch. And now I have a harder fight on my hands. I start fighting, bang, bang, and I get control, bang. I go to take this control. In this moment, guys, I've beaten him well enough that I need to take this, I can take this knife away. But if he recovers fast and starts to pull his arm away, I'm not gonna fish for his arm. I'm gonna drive it to him. So as he's pulling his arm away, I'll drive the knife into him and I'll push him away. Remember, keys about knives, because when we talk about knife attacks, keys about knives. Eric has to get close to stab me. He has to be close. And I know what you guys are gonna say, well, just pull my gun out and shoot him. Yes, you're right. But we don't have that option. In this range, I don't have that option to shoot him. If I go to pull my gun out and he starts to stab me, we have problems. I need to address that. So he has to be close. In order for it, because he has to be close, I'm gonna do whatever I can to get away from him. So, one other thing that we can do for this overhead stab, and I'm just gonna give this to you. If I'm at the right distance and he goes to stab me, I will kick him. Switch sides. I totally dirtied your shirt. Okay. Right, so now he goes to stab, now boom, I'm gonna kick him. And I'm always gonna keep him at range. Guys, also I can grab weapons and use those things too. So I want you to remember that. We just don't have those weapons, so we'll go to 360. Defend the problem, simultaneous counterattack, control the arm, the weapon arm, fight, bang, bang. I softened him up. Now I go to do this takeaway, boom, the knife is mine. I may hit him and start taking away or running away. One last thing. The question always comes up, when should I take the knife away? You see, I see this in class all the time, where it's 1 or 2 strikes, 1, 2, and then I go for this knife takeaway. Here's the truth. I would literally beat this guy until there's no fight, where I'm hitting him and he's on his knees, and then there's no fight. I know it. Now I can take this knife away. The only time I would go earlier is if I was fighting and I saw he had a third party, a friend, coming into this fight. He has a friend. Now I'm looking to get this knife away because now I need the weapon. Guys, here's a really good question. Would you take the knife away or would you keep striking? Comment down below. Hey, let's talk about the underhand stab now. So, Eric's gonna do an underhand stab. One more time this way. Underhand stab slowly. Bang, boom, bang, right? So, 2 things on this. Can I see the knife? What we tend to forget is that most people, they don't come in like Eric just demoed. And it's nothing wrong with what Eric demoed. It's just we train it that way so we can get an understanding of the angle. But it's rare to see somebody go, knife, underhand stab, right? What tends to happen is this underhand stab is close and fast. Just like we said overhead stab was here, underhand stab is gonna be close and fast. We call it the prison shank, right? It's gonna be close, so he might be grabbing you. So when he's grabbing me and doing this prison shank, I may get stabbed 2, 3 times. I gotta address the next one. So I'm gonna do the defense. And as best as I can, I'm gonna hit him. Bang, bang, and then wrap. Switch sides again. He may grab my shirt and then start to stab. Now he's hindering me. I have to make this defense and then now strike to hit him. So how do we make this defense? It's the exact same thing when we were talking about 360 defense. Guys, 360 defense is us defending haymaker attacks in this realm. When the hand goes from the outside, comes back in. Because his, do the full stab, because it's going under, I make a 90-degree bend in my arm to the attack. Once again, it goes wrist to wrist as best as I can. If you notice what's happening to my hips is I move my vitals out of the way. So he could stab me close 2, 3 times, but I'll move my hips out of the way and defend. Once I stop, I have to hit him. Guys, once again, I have to reset the computer. If I don't reset the computer and I just go here, yeah, he's gonna change his attack. It's gonna change, it's gonna get scary, it's gonna get different. So the attacker has to be, boom, hit. I have to give myself a second. Turn this way, Eric. From here, once I've hit him, remember this knife is gonna probably go back to re-stab me. It's just rare to see one guy go, rah, and then that's it. So it's gonna go back. If I try to wrap his hand as it's going back, I'm gonna lose it. If I try to wrap at his forearm, same idea. So instead, I burst in and wrap at his shoulder. As soon as I wrap, my other hand is here, I slide him down, and now I need to get him away from the knife. If I stay here, once again, walk around and just grab that knife, yeah, we have a problem. But now when I slide him away in front of me, in front of the knife, or in front of me, it's gonna be hard for him to get that knife when I'm in the way. Once again, I have to hit him. Like I have short elbows, those can be effective, but this groin kick, the Krav Maga handshake, or these knees, boom, it's gonna change his mindset. I want him to think about something other than getting that knife. I want him on the defensive. So I'm gonna throw these kicks, bang, bang. Look, if he's right, turn again. Bend over like you were just doing. This is fantastic. As a matter of fact, guys, anybody who's bent over in this position, we're all Mortal Kombat fans. You should see finish him and kick him right, bang, in the face. Finish him. You don't want to sit here and fight with him for 6-7 hours. Kick him, bang. Here's the deal. I have an underhook, so my hand is gonna go over the top. My other hand is gonna slide. I'm gonna grab his wrist, my hand goes to the top, and now I'm just gonna pop his fingers to his wrist, bang, and then replace. It's mine. Again, just underhand. So I'm here, watch my hand. This hand comes across, and it's gonna grab the top of his hand. My hand that's at the bottom goes to his wrist. I step, my fingers turn. Now all I'm doing is I'm mimicking his fist and grabbing his wrist. I'm isolating his wrist. I'm isolating his hands, and now I just pop it open, bang. And once his fingers come open, I'm just gonna replace and take the knife out as mine. Maybe finish him with the kick, and then I'm running away. If he's trying to fight, then I have to fight back. Knife stab, underhand. Guys, if we missed an angle of a stab, put it in the comments below. We'd love to see what comments you have or what stabs you would want us to work on or talk about. Guys, let's talk about knife slashes. One other common knife attack that you'll see when you're looking at knife attacks, real life knife attacks. Of course, we talked about underhand, we talked about overhand, but then it's just crazy flailing slash. The slash, of course, is trying to get my neck, my throat, anything of that nature. We're just gonna revert back to our 360 defense. So he does the attack, bang, bam, bam, right, switch sides. Slowly, he slashes, bang, boom, 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 bang, knife takeaway, bang. So when we talk about this knife slash, guys, it comes from the same plane or the same ideal from 360. So because it's coming on this horizontal plane and I can time it 360 defense again, my weight is always going forward. So as he's slashing, I can just drive my weight forward and I alleviate the majority of the problem. I secure this by 360 defense. Switch sides again. So again, he slashes, I drive my weight forward. He slashes and I stop it, boom. So we're gonna take some things from our natural reactions and use them and modify them, and take some things from our natural reactions and throw them out the window. If he slashes at me, I'm probably gonna do that. Hands come up to stop, but my weight is gonna go away from the knife. That's natural if you've not trained. So take away your hands going away, or your body going away from this, and instead we're driving forward. In addition to that, I'm gonna stop this with my hand. 90-degree bend in my arm to the attack, wrist to wrist. My weight is going forward. Again, let's go this way. 90-degree bend in my arm to the attack, wrist to wrist. Why is this so effective? Because I don't have to change anything now about this knife attack. I really don't. It was overhead, boom, to the side, boom, underhand, boom. That's all I'm doing is I'm stopping the attack. I have to reset his computer because we know that he slashes, and if it stops, it's gonna go back and it's probably gonna slash in different angles, right? So I, boom, punch him. I need to reset the computer so I can now wrap his arm. Once I've hit him, my arm that's defending is gonna wrap at his shoulder. I cannot wrap at his forearm or his bicep, they move too far away from me. But if I wrap at his shoulder by bursting in, I'm gonna put it in a nice headlock. My other arm is gonna be right at his shoulder, elbow down, and now I'm gonna start my control. I'm gonna slide him in front of me so he can't grab this weapon. If I don't, and I stay here, he grabs the weapon, I get stabbed. And now we gotta, shave off the gravy. Sorry, it is gravy. I had gravy today. Listen, so instead I'm gonna slide down forward, and now I'm just gonna start beating him. I got groin kicks from here, bang. I got knees, bang. Look, there's other things too. I can stop at his knee, bang, maybe take him down. I can throw a round kick, bang, and create some more damage, but I'm just gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit him in a really good effective place and let him think about something other than taking that knife or grabbing that knife or fighting back. From here, switch sides, Eric. Just like before from knife stab overhead, hand goes to the elbow, slide down to the wrist. I'm gonna now step away and bring that knife out in front of me. My other hand is gonna cap his hand, and I'm gonna drive his fingers into his wrist with force. I don't use my hand, I use my body to break open his hand, and then pull that knife right back, and it's mine. I drive with my body, not my hand, my body, to break open his wrist. It comes through, and I replace and pull that sucker out, and it's mine. From here, guys, depending on what he does, if he decides to start running, fantastic. Then I can do. Okay. That'd be the greatest thing ever. He runs away and I'm like, yeah. Anyway, or if he stays there, I can start fighting him, bang, and go. So knife slash. Look, something that we can't be in a perfect circle, right? Like the world, this self-defense, I may fail. And the fail may be, I may be late when he's slashing and I decide to go in. He may shorten his arm. So when that happens, guys, I have a bailout. When he slashes, I go back, boom, boom, bang. So we have this defense too. And I'm gonna go over it quickly. I move my head back, my hands come up. So if I do get cut, it's gonna be across my knuckles or the back of my hand, not my veins. And then from there, I'm gonna drive and stop him. I'm looking for bicep and forearm. My hands are out like I'm trying to tell him to stop. My hand now that's closest to his head is gonna drive his arm to his body, and I have to hit him, bang! Now from here, I turn just a little bit there. This hand goes wrist, fist. Now I got my control again, and I can do this takeaway. Look, his arm might start sliding back. I shoot in, and then there's my control. And I go from there. Bang. So, that kind of concludes our little basic knife series, guys. Overhead stab, underhand stab, slashes. I employ that you guys jump on some other videos about knife attacks. Not movies, but knife attacks. And start realizing or start watching what really happens with knife attacks. If I can, see that knife. Guys, you're gonna see a lot of this. You're gonna see a lot of this. And then you're gonna also see a lot of just wild slashes. It is very rare that somebody who's a bad guy is gonna come at you like this and then start carving you up. Listen, one last thing. I always have one last thing. Look, we are talking about knife attacks. We have to be realistic about that. And that is, you may get stabbed. You may get stabbed. There's a very good chance you get stabbed. You may get caught by surprise and get stabbed. Remember this, as long as you're still breathing, you need to fight. So I just wanted to leave you with that. You may get stabbed. Fight. Guys, if you take anything away from this video, there are 3 things. Identify the problem. Always know what the problem is. Defend yourself against the problem. So when we're talking about knife stabs and somebody's coming down, up, you have to defend against the problem and make sure you hit the guy. Make sure you hit the guy. You can't just defend the knife and then try to take it away. You need to hit them. Those are the 3 things. Identify the problem, defend the problem, add some kind of counterattack. Add some kind of counterattack. All right, guys, if you like the content that we're giving you, please make sure you smash our like button and also subscribe to us. And then in addition to that, put some comments below because we want to do this for you. You people.